All right. In the old win column. Love it. It's a fake game, doesn't matter. A win is a win is a win, even during summer league. Okay. I am let's see. So yesterday, after the first game of summer league, there were my understanding was there were a few folks in the chat who were concerned, as it were, with the Knicks starting point guard yesterday. The guy who was one of the most important players on their actual basketball team last year, not their summer league team, their real team, and who showed us that he could do it on the real stage and hit as many big shots as any Knick last season. But people were concerned because he went like 5 for 17 in summer league and he didn't look like he had complete command of a position that is not really his natural position. Well, I think Emmanuel Quickley heard y'all. So let's see, what was his final stat line today? Did he get his career high? He did get his career high if you count summer league. 32 points on 21 shots. Didn't even hit really that many threes. He was only 4 of 12. But 32 points, 8 assists. How many turnovers did he have? 1 turnover. 8 assists to 1 turnover. I think that ratio will play. Emmanuel Quickley is going to be fine. I was not worried about Emmanuel Quickley yesterday. I'm not worried about Emmanuel Quickley today. Emmanuel Quickley is a really good basketball player. And he is allowed to have off days, even off days in summer league. But he's really good, and we should be really happy that we have him to root for as Knicks fans. And I said it, yesterday. I probably wrote it today. Every year in summer league, there's like 4 or 5 guys who by, I don't know, a couple of games in, they're like, oh, this guy probably doesn't need to be here, and he's probably too good for that. Quickley he's kind of like on the verge of being one of those guys. So just wonderful performance from Quickley. I mean, does stuff you can't teach. He's going to play a big role on this team this year. I think he's going to average about 20 minutes, maybe even more, 20, 25 minutes. I think with Rose and Kemba needing to be managed in terms of their health, he's going to play a vital role on this team. And hey, after summer league is over, he gets 2 more months to work on his game between now and the start of next season. I'm kind of excited for a little Emmanuel Quickley. We already got some stuff in the super chat. Young Lito ordered Deuce's jersey once the dunk hit the floor. That was a nice exclamation point. We should go to Deuce McBride next. CT Pittman, my main man. What's a super chat? What's a chat without, or a post game without CT Pittman? Overreact, you say? We never overreact as New Yorkers, right? And it was nice for anybody who missed the tweet or who missed Rebecca Harlow saying it live on the broadcast. Quickley and Obi have been working out together all summer long. They worked out together. They took 2 days off after the season ended. They came back in. They started getting work again. Like, I really do feel very strongly about the fact that if we look back on last year as the resetting of the organization's foundation, I have a funny feeling that we're going to point to those 2 kids, Obi and Quickley, as a big reason for that. I hope they're around for a long time. I mean, we'll see what happens with big trades down the line. But I like both of them. I like rooting for both of them. They're fun players. We'll talk about Obi in a bit. CPM, John, I'm so excited to send help. It's okay to be excited. That's what Summer League is all about. It's okay to be excited. Quickley, I mean, the floater, I don't know what was let's rank the Quickley plays from today. You had the Duarte. I mean, Duarte had a nice game. Duarte's going to be a really nice player, but man, that was his welcome to the NBA moment because he went, who was the guy that James Harden put on his ass or put on all fours? Was that, I think it was Wesley Johnson. I forget what team Wesley Johnson was even playing for when that happened. But when Harden faked him out, had time to check the wind, and that was like akin to the James Harden Wesley Johnson play. And he hit the shot, obviously. He had another couple of step backs. The floater game was going. I mean, he had that ridiculous floater curling around on the left side of the hoop. I mean, he was just all about it today. He was all about it. It was great. So it's okay to be excited. Brian Benjamin, thank God IQ bounced back. I was worried. Yeah, no, I mean, it's listen. You're allowed to be a little worried, but at the same time, just remember it's summer league. So let's talk about Deuce McBride yet. I know Deuce McBride was not the next leading scorer in the stat line, but if you watch the game, without question, Deuce McBride was the Knicks' second best player today after Immanuel Quickley. He finished with 14 points, but he did so on only 7 shots. He only missed 2 shots, 1 3, 1 from inside the arc. Again, the defense popped. I thought the shot making was good. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this rotation plays out this year. And I saw somebody mention that that Vildoza is Vildoza out, or maybe I misread what somebody wrote in the chat. I'm not sure. Oh, sadly, Luka is out. I don't know. I mean, he only played 4 minutes today. I guess, what did he get hurt? Honestly, I missed it if he did. I don't know. I mean, yes, Tibbs cares about offense, but you need to be able to defend to get on the floor for a Tom Thibodeau team. Deuce could defend. Deuce could hit shots. Deuce can. If you're asking me, can Deuce defend your average backup NBA 2? I think he probably can. I think that was one of the appeals of why they drafted him. I said it weeks ago. I'll say it again now. He looks more ready to play to me at this point than Grimes does. Now, we could rewind 2 years, and after 2 summer league games, if you would have said who looks more ready to play NBA basketball, RJ Barrett or Ignas Brazdeikis, we would have all said Iggy, and it's not even close. So, again, it's summer league. Let's calm our jets. Grimes was fine, by the way. I mean, he was 2 of 6 from deep, not making shots inside the arc. I mean, he looks a little overmatched, quite frankly. Right now, not the best game from him. Defensively, some inconsistency. McBride looks like he's ready to play. Blames Dolan. Tibbs couldn't even crack a smile. Of course, Tibbs can't crack a smile. Tibbs doesn't even know what a smile is. No, that's not true. He smiled a few times this year. So great game from Deuce McBride. Really, really nice effort on his part. Who should we go to next? Let's talk about Obi. Obi had, Sims was the revelation in game 1, but I think all things concerned, Obi Toppin was the best player from game 1. He was 8 for 11 inside the arc. I know he struggled from 3. Today was kind of the opposite. Today, Toppin was 3 for 6 from deep. I thought with the lone exception of the one airball 3 that ended up being a credited Jericho Sims basket. Can't write that stuff. With the exception of that shot, which we saw him have those random, really bad misses last year, I thought his 3 just looks absolutely silky smooth. I mean, I think it seems like it's a little bit of a quicker release. It seems like it's a more fluid release. I don't know what work he's done on that shot over the summer, but even yesterday, I thought the release looked good and he just didn't make them. Today, he was 3 for 6. Inside the arc, I thought the biggest criticism of Obi today, and you'd like to see him do this a little bit more against this level of competition. And, does he need more patience? Is it just, still needs a little bit more time? It's just, I think it's a patience thing. You'd like to see him just draw more fouls on these guys. Toppin went to the free throw line 3 times today. I thought on a couple of those shots that he put up, he could have just slowed down a little bit. These guys can't stop him. But at the same time, we've seen him have such success with, getting these shots up on the move. I thought his most impressive shot today was when he kind of curled around from the restricted area, caught the ball maybe 8 feet from the rim, and then in one fluid motion put up that righty lay-in, which is just you can't teach that. That's the type of thing where if you tell me all right, what do you take from Summer League? What do you not take from Summer League? Flashing that kind of skill is something you definitely take from Summer League. Finished today, 22 points on 20 shots, had another 9 rebounds. Did have the 5 turnovers. Not ideal, but a fine game from Toppin. He's had 2 very nice games. So that's totally cool. CT Pittman, man, CT. Thank you, CT. I was worried about culture once we lost Theo, but after Quick's post-game comments today, I think we'll be fine. I'll have to go back and catch those. Hopefully someone can repost those on Twitter because I obviously started this right after the game. But yeah, man, I think, I don't know. I know the talk, and I'm responsible for much of it already. The talk with how they signed all these contracts this offseason, and they're movable contracts, and the salaries are, the type of salaries that you could kind of cobble together in a bigger trade. I get that the attention is immediately going to turn to the next star that, may be available on the trade market, or says he makes himself available, or whatever the case is. I just, I'm going to repeat the sentiment that I shared with so many people who watched with me after so many games last year, which is that, like, this is finally a team we could root for. Finally has kids that you want to grow with and you want to see beyond the team for a while. I don't know if we're going to get all of them, but Quickley is just, there's something in Quickley's DNA. I don't know what it is, but I like it. And I like it here. I like it in this locker room. And I want him to be here for a very long time. Flying Machine Collective, again, thank you for your contribution to the super chat. Meanwhile, Blood of the Panda, Obi looked like Paul George out there. It might be a little bit of a stretch. Quickley is a bucket. Obi, finally aggressive. He's definitely getting more aggressive. Hopefully that carries over. No NBA starting point guard on the Summer League team. We'll see about McBride. Also, who did Quick give 32? An NBA rotation player. If I'm not mistaken, Quick put up 30 against the Blazers in the Knicks failed comeback in Portland. Andrew, Claudio, or somebody else, if you want to fact check that for me, I could be wrong. I think that's where he put up 31. So, yes. Okay, thank you. Robert McGinley in the super chat. It's just Summer League, so I don't want to overreact, but McBride just looks like a Tibbs guy. He absolutely looks like a Tibbs guy. He never stops working out there, and that's going to get him on the floor. And I think, he's going to have opportunities to play, and I'm just really interested what happens, because, again, with the Vildoza thing, I think I kind of said this with Jeremy on today's pod or yesterday's, whatever. I think it was today's pod. Like, it's not just about doing right by, like, you brought Vildoza over here. He may have been under the presupposition when he signed a contract with the Knicks that he was going to have a genuine chance to fight for, a prominent spot in the rotation next year. Is that still going to be the case with Kemba and Derek here? He kind of knows that he's obviously never going to start for this team, barring, some really bad injuries that I don't even want to think about. Who knows? Maybe he wants to go back to Europe. We have no idea. I hope not. But I'm not willing to sit here and rule out McBride playing a role for this team this year. Quickly did it. I know Quickley was a shot maker, and I know they needed Quickley's 3-point shooting, but Deuce seems like he could hit some shots. Okay, CT, man, CT Pittman. I honestly hope we don't gut the team for a star like Lillard. I feel like we're building something special and building it the right way. It's the great question of the NBA, right? Like, at some point you need that guy. I think there's hope that maybe Randall could be that number 2. I think there's hope that maybe RJ could be that number 3. You still need that guy, but at the same time, who knows what that trade is going to look like if and when that trade happens. I'm going to throw something out there. It may be a little bit far-fetched, and I know Jeremy's going to touch on it on next week's pod, but what's to say that this summer, what's to say that this year things go very well for the Knicks, and then next offseason, either Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal are like, yeah, you know what? I want to go play for the Knicks. Obviously, at that point, the Knicks don't have cap space. But if you're, as opposed to a team like Portland, who, if Portland trades Dame Lillard or like, whoever, De'Aaron Fox trades, or gets traded from Sacramento, or like Utah, if things go bad there over the next couple of years, they trade Donovan Mitchell. Those are situations where you still have a guy under contract. You're going to want to get a certain return for those guys. If it's a situation where a guy is a free agent, a la Jimmy Butler with the Heat 2 years ago, or going to the Heat 2 years ago, that was a situation where he said, I want to go to Miami. Miami didn't have any cap space. So what did Miami do? They're like, all right, well, he wants to come here. You're going to lose him anyway because he doesn't want to go back to you. So we'll give you some stuff in a trade because we need to, because we need for you to help us out to make this signing happen. But we're not giving you what we would give you if we were trading for Jimmy Butler under contract for several years. So what did they do? They gave up Josh Richardson. I'm pretty sure some salary filler went out in that deal. That was, if I recall correctly, the Hassan Whiteside contract went to Portland because it was a 4-team deal. And then the Heat sent, I think, a first-round pick or a couple of first-round picks. Josh Richardson's a nice player, but like that was a situation where it was kind of this like in-between deal where like, yes, they had to trade for the guy, but the guy was a free agent. So I think if you're a Knicks fan like CT Pittman and you are hoping that this core stays together for the long term, I think your best bet is to maybe make it the whole year without getting that superstar. And the only way that happens is if this team, I think, just wildly not overperforms, but they really perform well, and there isn't that pressure, to make that star trade, or maybe a star never asks out, and you get to next summer, and then next summer comes, and again, is it a Levine? Is it a is it a Bradley Beal? Well, no, I was about to say, is it a Zion Williamson? He's not even at the point where he could take a qualifying offer. We're still 2 years away from that. We're not quite there yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. What else do we got here? CTP the God. Mr. William 1072. I was at Sunday's game. The effort from the young guys is palpable. The rookies will be day one contributors. Yeah, I mean, what I want to say about that is even if we get to day one of the season and we don't see, Deuce or Grimes or something like play minutes, I'm going to sound like Coach Tibbs. This is me channeling my inner Tom Thibodeau. There's lots of ways you could contribute. You could contribute on the practice court. You could contribute in the gym. You could contribute from the bench, rooting on your. It's a little bit too much smoke for me. But no, I mean that. Like, these guys are going to be contributors. They're in ways that we probably don't recognize. And I think all we have to do is look to last season and just, what they built behind the scenes and how those guys, everybody felt like they were a part of the team. That's what happens when you have a special group. Fern Rodriguez. Any guesses when the Knicks will have a press conference introducing Fournier and Kemba? Curious, since that will probably be when we see Leon speak to the press, first time in a while. Are we going to see Leon speak to the press? They'll have a Kemba press conference. They'll have a Fournier press conference. I'm sure it'll be virtual. I'm not sure I'd bet on Leon speaking at that. I mean, at some point, he kind of does need to talk, doesn't he? I don't care. To me, this isn't like the fact that he hasn't talked since he did like a one-on-one thing. Well, no, sorry. He did the one-on-one thing with Mike Breen, and then he spoke when they introduced Tom Thibodeau, but that wasn't even really a press conference. Like, he hasn't sat and given like a true, I'm the president of basketball operations, answering whatever questions you have for me press conference. Is he going to give one now? I don't know. I'm 50-50. Again, I don't really care about it. If you care, I don't begrudge you. I know some of the guys in the press care about it because it's kind of like I don't know. I get the sense that it's kind of like a respect thing. Like, the journalists that cover the team, like, you're supposed to talk to us type of deal. I don't know. I don't consider myself a journalist, so I'm the wrong person to ask. I digress. What else we got? So we're about 20 minutes. I'll take one or two other questions, and then I am going to fry up some chicken cutlets for dinner, which I'm very excited about. I'm thinking for anybody who wants to ask, how dare you bring a Mets cup to a victory live stream? It's an old Mets cup. Look at this thing. This thing is more weathered than who's a weathered Met? I don't even know, but this thing's old. I don't know if this. Yeah, probably seen its better days. Chicken cutlet sandwich today is going to be with some bacon jam, with some. I think I have some Monterey Jack cheese, and I have some nice potato bread. I know it's not the best, but it'll do. And then I think I have some salad. I want to make a mayo-based slaw or something that maybe I want to put under with the bacon jam. That's kind of where David Weathers. It's pepper jack? That's pepper. My wife is telling me it's pepper jack cheese, not Monterey Jack cheese. Very different things. Cologne. Listen, Cologne is going to pitch somewhere until he literally drops. I love Bartolo Colon. Big shout out to Bartolo Colon. Anything else we need to talk about for the next day? I didn't mention Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims still hasn't missed in summer league. 8 points, 9 rebounds. Nice game. Thank you to whoever YT is in the super chat. Although that's redacted. I don't know what that is. Wayne Selden, thank you for your participation. Reed Travis, thank you for participation. Jacobitis, Rokas. How can I forget about Rokas? We saw 9 minutes of Rokas. He made a nice bucket. He had a rough turnover, I think, and he's probably going to be back to Barcelona pretty soon. I don't really know what to say about Rokas. It was nice that he got some run. There will be a time when we see more of Rokas. David Heritage, Jared Jacks. Man, Jared Jack, shout out to Jared Jack getting an assistant coaching gig with the Phoenix Suns. I feel bad because Jared Jack got a lot of shit that year because he was starting ahead of Frank, and we all wanted to see Frank start. But Jared Jack was damn good. And I can't tell you how many times I sat watching Elfrid Payton last year being like, Jared Jack would be better than this. Wherever Jared Jack is in the world, he was playing for the G League. Wherever Jared Jack was in the world, he would have been better than Elfrid Payton last year. So shout out to Jared Jack. Once a Nick, always a Nick. You got that right. Okay. I think, Jared Jack was legit. He went straight from the G League to an assistant coaching staff. What a lord. God bless Jared Jack. CT Pittman, yes, Reed Travis is a Kentucky alum. I think he played with Quickley. I can tell you he's not going to be a New York Knicks alum because if that dude ever makes it onto an NBA roster, we have an issue. I don't think he's quite ready for prime time. Oh, here we go. Oh, does anybody mind if I listen to the post game?
32 points, 8 assists out there. As soon as this game ended, what's that Coach Tibbs pull you over? What do you have to say?
He told me just to be myself. Last game I was kind of trying to find my way, trying to get everybody involved, but this game I kind of want to do both, but just be a little bit more aggressive, help my teammates, be a bit more of a leader.
What a nice young man.
No surprise he was telling you to keep shooting that basketball, but we saw a lot of chemistry between you and Obi Toppin out there today. Last summer you didn't get this time with him. How have you guys taken advantage of it? I hear that 2 days after the playoffs, you two are right back in the gym.
No doubt. That's what the Knicks culture is. Working hard, enjoying the work, getting better. We're really excited for the summer league.
Enjoying the work.
We're really excited for next season, so we just want to continue to get better and take steps to move forward.
Speaking of this summer league team, when you look at the Knicks draft picks, there's some good stuff going on out there on the floor. What stands out to you right now?
Unbelievable guys, not only on the court, but I think off the court. They're unbelievable character-wise. They want to work. They're humble. All the guys, Quickley, McBride, Jericho, as you see, he catches lobs like none other person. So, we get a lot of talent, a lot of great guys, so we're excited about them.
Obviously, all the free agency deals have not been finalized yet, but if you were to play with Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, what excites you about the idea of adding that kind of shooting to this team?
I got you, CT.
I feel, first of all, just learning from them. In my second year, I think learning, especially from a guy like Kemba, who's been an all-star, been, top 15, 20 in the league in scoring. So, somebody to learn from, compete with, just get better day to day. And then obviously what Evan Fournier brings to the table, his shooting, his competitiveness, I think, we really added something to this team.
That's a beautiful thing. I love this kid so much. Yeah, I got you, CT. I figured that's why I wanted to play it. No one catches lobs like Jericho Sims. Boy, shots fired? I don't know. No, I don't think he meant anything by that. Yes, here's your question. Forgot to actually post the question. What would you think of Josh Hart on this team? I like Josh Hart. I think the reason why Josh Hart is still available in restricted free agency is because after the Pelicans lost Lonzo Ball for really not much, I don't think they could afford to lose Josh Hart. They could pay Josh Hart. It shouldn't be an issue to pay Josh Hart. So for the Knicks, they have no more cap space other than the room exception. And as Jeremy and I discussed on today's pod, my assumption would be if Vildoza is on this team come next year to accommodate the Walker contract, which has to be used with cap space, the numbers don't work out. You need Vildoza's salary slot. So you're probably going to need to re-sign Vildoza using the room exception. This is a very long-winded way of saying they don't have any money to pay Josh Hart. Even if they had the full room exception, they're not going to, Josh Hart, like the Pelicans he would never sign that. The Pelicans would match that in a heartbeat. As a possible trade candidate down the line, maybe. I mean, I like Josh Hart. I'd like to see Josh Hart shoot more than 33 or whatever he shot, 31% from three this season before I gave up real assets for him. Okay. That is it. I'm going to go fry up some cutlets. You guys are amazing. I've said it a few times again this offseason. Best fans in the world. It's 4:19 on a Tuesday, and we had over 600 strong in here watching a post game of a summer league game. But that's what happens when Immanuel Quickley goes off for 32 points and looks like a stud in the process. So now I will second Andrew. Thank you for coming and tuning in. I will see you at about 11:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday night after the Knicks hopefully kick the crap out of the Los Angeles Lakers Summer League team. All right. Enjoy your night, everybody. Peace out.